So I made a video previously, or rather the last video that I made was about lucidity and manifestation. And I figured that there's some key points that I forgot to mention. I also wanted to have this conversation with ChatGPT, to which I just shown the entire transcript of the video, and it was so quick, fascinating how it gave the summary of it right here. I'm going to talk to it about something quite close to the concepts of manifestation and lucidity, the brain neuroplasticity. So we'll go ahead and talk to it. Hey ChatGPT, first of all, I wanted to ask you, what are the key points from the last video that I made and that I showed you the transcript of?
Hey, one of the key points from your video is how lucidity in dreams can help develop a sense of unconditionality, which may aid in manifesting desired realities. You linked this idea of being aware and relaxed in your dreams to being able to handle abundance or desired changes in real life. What direction do you want to take this conversation?
Can you talk to us about neuroplasticity of the brain? What does that mean?
Sure. Neuroplasticity refers to the brain's ability to change and adapt throughout life. It means that our brains can reorganize themselves by forming new neural connections in response to learning, experience, or injury. This process allows us to improve skills, recover from brain injuries, or even change habits over time. Essentially, the more we practice something or engage in new experiences, the more our brain can adjust and grow. Does that connect with what you were discussing in your video?
Alright. Now, what does that have to do with, say, memories? For instance, say I have a paper where there's stuff written on it. If I try to remember it the next day, I have good chances of being correct. But if I try to remember that same paper in 1 year or 2 year, maybe I won't be as successful. So that has to do with neuroplasticity, right?
Yes, exactly. As time passes, the connections in your brain related to that memory can weaken, making it harder to recall details. Neuroplasticity plays a role here because the brain constantly reorganizes itself. And if you don't reinforce those memories through practice or revisiting the information, they may fade over time. This process can lead to forgetting, especially for information that isn't regularly used.
Okay, from the transcript of the video that I provided you, you can see that I've talked about entertaining ideas in your head unconditionally. Like, say for instance, I have a dream or an idea or a thought, whatever that might be. If in one day I try to write down that idea that I had one day ago, the way that I will reflect it or interpret it will be very different from the way I will interpret it 7 days after that. So say for instance I had a dream where I was running, right? Now 7 days after having that dream, maybe if I try to interpret that same dream and write it down on a paper, it will be something like I was swimming instead of I was running in that dream. Does that make sense? And how does that relate to neuroplasticity?
Yes, that makes sense. What you're describing relates to how memories can change over time. When you first have a dream, your brain forms a specific memory of it. However, as time goes on, the neural connections associated with that memory can weaken or be influenced by new experiences and thoughts. This can lead to altered interpretations, like remembering running as swimming. Neuroplasticity plays a role here because it allows your brain to adapt and reorganize based on new information or emotions. As you think about or reflect on that dream later, your brain may connect it to different experiences, altering the original memory. This highlights how memories are not static. They can evolve, influenced by the brain's plasticity.
Especially for things that are not tangible like dreams and thoughts. These are not physical, the same way maybe the memory of a paper that I've written down will be engraved in my mind. You understand what I'm saying? So there's things that do weight a lot in reality, and stuff like experiences that are physical. These are things that you might remember for a long time, vividly even. But thoughts are somewhat malleable, the way you can keep them or entertain them. I don't know if that makes sense to you again.
Absolutely, that makes perfect sense. Thoughts and dreams are indeed more malleable than tangible experiences. While physical experiences tend to create stronger, more lasting memories due to their emotional or sensory impact, thoughts and dreams can change easily over time. They lack a physical form, which makes them more susceptible to reinterpretation and distortion. So, when you engage with or entertain a thought, it can shift depending on your current mindset or new experiences. This highlights the fluid nature of our mental processes and how neuroplasticity allows for continuous change in how we perceive and remember those less tangible experiences.
As for the things that I wanted to share with you again related to manifestation and lucidity, these are two things. First of all, you might say that, are you saying that we shouldn't write down our goals and not speak about them, not have anything to do with them in the real reality? But it's not that. What I'm asking is simply to remain unconditional towards them. If you've ever watched, for instance, Harry Potter, which is a movie related to sorcery and stuff like that, the characters of the movie will be spelling, and then throughout their spells, reality changes. That's a level that we're still not in right now. And it's very good to admit at which level you are. We're not at the level at which we can be unconditional towards these types of things, right? You can do that in your dreams, in your lucid dreams, and know very well that you're in a dream, but how unconditional would you be towards these things in the real life? So entertaining thoughts that seem less likely to happen is a way for you to leave it unconditional and specific. Now, how lucidity again might help you in this? The second point that I wanted to share. Taking the example that I gave in the previous video, which is manifesting a house. So you don't write it down, you don't speak about it, you leave it outside of this reality. You just envision it, okay, in your head. You envision perfectly the house that you want in your reality to be manifested. You envision it, and then this is what will happen. Say for instance you go to work, okay, and while walking you find the house that you were envisioning, almost the same house, and you are shaken by this. Why is this house not mine? Like I was envisioning it to be my house, not someone else's house or in a different place. This is what is really meant by don't be disturbed or shaken by the 3D reality. Now, if you're a real lucid dreamer, this type of stuff won't even register in your mind. And I know it's not something that we can prove, but a real lucid dreamer won't be shaken by the fact that an idea that he entertained popped off in front of his head in a way that he has no control over, because a true lucid dreamer is someone who is very unconditional towards this stuff. And therefore, true lucid dreamers or good lucid dreamers are usually good manifestors. So yeah, that's the idea, the second one that I wanted to share. And yeah, thank you for watching again. See you on the next one. Have a great time. Have a great day, whatever it is.